Hi, I'm Rachel Davis, and I'll be your instructor for Chem 151 this semester at JCC, Johnston Community College. So this class is a completely online class, so I make videos for tutorials, for lecture material, and occasionally you'll see videos like this of face-to-face for me, just so you know that I am a real person on the other end of Blackboard and on the other end of your emails. So a little bit about myself before we get into the course material. I am a two-time alum of NC State University. I got my undergraduate there in polymer color chemistry and my graduate degree, a master's degree in textile chemistry. I've been working in Johnston Community College now since 2011 teaching the chemistry, and I'm currently the lead chemistry instructor at Johnston Community College. I've been teaching Chem 151 online for several years now. So if you have any questions about anything, I'm always available by email. Is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me, rldavis@johnstoncc.edu. And you can also make an appointment to come see me in person at my office. My office is in F110C in the Health Building at Johnston Community College. So a little bit about this class. Chem 151 is a 96 total credit hour or contact hour class. So what that means is that during a normal 16-week class, you would meet for 6 hours every week, and you would expect to have about 6 to 12 hours worth of homework assignments on your own time. Because we are doing this fast track in the summer for only 9 weeks, that's going to be almost double time, so expect about 12 hours of contact hours per week plus additional time for studying and doing homework. So it's kind of fast. There's a lot of material that's going to be coming out at you, a lot of assignments, but you'll be over and done with before the end of July. So that's always good news. So in this class, all of your material will be available on Blackboard. As far as materials that you need to purchase for the class, you do need a textbook. So our textbook, as you'll see on the website, we'll switch that in a little bit, has multiple options. We also have a lab kit that is required, and it is a custom kit, so it can only be purchased through JCC Bookstore. And in addition to those materials, you'll need a scientific calculator, and you'll have to just use any scientific calculator that you are comfortable with using. And then because you're doing this at home, you need to have access to the internet via a computer or a computer you have access to. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the screencast and show you what to look for in Blackboard and how to find all of your material. So here's the entry point for your Blackboard course shell. So the first couple of times that you log on, this is what you're going to see, entry point. So the first two things you'll see are the enrollment verification quiz and the syllabus. So the enrollment verification quiz must be done first before you do anything else. It doesn't count for a grade, so don't stress if you don't know the answer to one of the questions. But the answers to the questions can all be found on the syllabus. So there's also the syllabus page. But the enrollment verification quiz is done for attendance purposes and serves as your entry into the class. The syllabus, if you click on that, you can also click off to the side here to reach the verification quiz or the syllabus. Here is the syllabus. Now this part here you download as a document file, and we'll show you specifically for our class what our specific policies are, whereas the general policies, disability services, and student resources information can be found directly on Blackboard. After you have read the syllabus, just click here, mark as reviewed, to mark that you have reviewed the syllabus, and that serves in place of the traditional student acknowledgement form. Most of the time you'll be going to announcements, assignments, or discussion board. So the announcements page will show you any announcements I have about the beginning of the class. The assignments page will show you for each week what your assignments are. So every week you'll see a new week pop up down here. Old weeks will still be visible, so if you want to go back and review old material, they will still be available. And every week, everything in that folder is due on the last day, which is always a Thursday. So back on the entry point, there was also this schedule for the 9 weeks of the summer and what is due each week for your lecture versus your lab assignments. So a couple quick notes. The first week here that is due on the 24th, The Lab 1 and Lab 3, both of those are worksheets. They do not require the lab kit. So if you're still waiting on your lab kit to ship to you, that's all right. Lab 2, which is due on the 31st, does require the lab kit. So make sure you order it, if you haven't already, in the first day or two of the class so that it can be shipped and available to you in time. Over here on announcements, each week we'll have assignments. Now this first week we'll have this training, which is just videos on how to use Connect. Connect problems is just how to enter numbers into Connect. Now that is a graded assignment, so it is required. For each chapter there's a PowerPoint presentation, a lecture video, and then there are 2 assignments. One is called Learn Smart, which is kind of like flashcards, and these are usually lower conceptual questions. And then there's also a homework, which is always 10 questions that are a bit more involved. So I recommend, after you've reviewed the PowerPoint and the lecture, which is usually based loosely off the PowerPoint, then do the Learn Smart before doing the homework, and then the same thing for the next chapter. The labs. So first lab gives you a video on how to submit laboratory submissions. Make sure you watch that video, since that'll give you information on how to submit, and important things like what needs a picture, what needs to show work, that sort of thing. So the first lab is a series of 3 worksheets. The introduction file will give you the background information you need. I'm not going to go too deep into that since that's all covered in the laboratory submissions videos, but if you have any questions, please let me know. The discussion boards, there are 2 discussion boards. One of them is a welcome and introductions. This is where you can introduce yourself to your classmates. Please go ahead and go on there and just a short paragraph, include a picture if you want to, and then also say hi to your classmates and just start networking and getting study groups together. And then the second one is peer-to-peer questions and help. While I do monitor this discussion board, this is more for you to answer other students' questions and to ask questions for other students. If you need help immediately, of course, the best thing to do is to email me, but sometimes it helps just hearing from a peer if they're having any trouble with a particular lab or something like that. Other buttons off to the side, My Instructor, here's my contact information. So this is how to contact me, my phone, my email address, all that good stuff. The calendar, now on the syllabus on the entry point, you already had a general what's due when, but if you just want to see for that week, you can click on the calendar and it'll pop up for the coming weeks what you have. Now on yours, when this pops up, it'll come up with your due dates. McGraw-Hill Connect. Now, after, you don't have to sign up for Connect separately. When you click on the very first assignment, which in chapter 1 would be either the training or the problems, it will prompt you at that point to sign up for Connect. If you do not have your textbook or Connect access code yet, click on Courtesy Access. That'll give you access for 2 weeks while you're waiting on your textbook to come in. But just after that initial click and put in your code number, it will not ask you again. You just click on your assignment and it'll take you straight there. But if for some reason you ever need to go directly to McGraw-Hill Connect, that would be this link here, and that could take you directly to your Connect section. But most of the time you're going to go through the assignments page. Your My Grades page will show you what your grades are in the class. So right now it's just showing you all the upcoming grades. As you complete assignments, they will come up with grades off here to the side. So Connect assignments are graded automatically and are transferred back to Blackboard usually within an hour. If it's been more than an hour and you're still not seeing a grade here, send me an email. Any sort of lab assignments, on the other hand, these are manually graded. So these can take a week for me to grade. Once these have a grade, in addition to your grade, you will also see comments. You can click on here to get feedback. If you have a perfect score, which in the case of all labs, they're all worth 20 points. So if I gave you 20 out of 20, there may not be comments because that just means you did everything correctly. But if you have any deductions less than 20, there will be an explanation off here to the side that you can read. And of course, email me if you have any questions. The Helps tab, this is Blackboard Help if you just need any general help with Blackboard here. Tools area, and then at the end of the semester, the Course Evaluations tab. So those are all of the tabs for your Blackboard folder. So next here we're going to talk about the Bookstore. So this is the listing for Chem 151 Summer on JCC's Bookstore page and what the materials required are. So you can also, of course, always come in and get them in person at the bookstore, but this is if you need to order them online. So up here we have 3 things listed. One is Chemistry Connect Plus Access for 2 semesters. One is Chem 151 Kit 4144 from eScience, and one is a package that includes a loose leaf chemistry with Connect. So here's the options. The kit is required, that is not an option, but the textbook comes in 2 different formats. One of them, the cheaper option, does not include a physical textbook. It is just the ebook and access to Connect, which is where all your assignments lie. Now this is good for 2 semesters, which means that if you go on to take Chem 152 in the fall semester, you will not need to buy anything new. So, because we use the same textbook for Chem 151 and 152. The more expensive option includes a loose leaf textbook option. What that means is in addition to your ebook and your Connect access, they will also send you a 3-hole punched physical copy of the textbook. Now it's not hardbound because that was an extra $100, but it is a physical copy, full color, glossy pages. You just need to put it in a 3-hole binder. So those are the options. You need this kit. There is nowhere else to buy it because it is a custom kit. So this part is absolutely required, but the textbook you just need access to Connect with the ebook. It's up to you if you want the actual physical textbooks. That's up to the student to decide. So here we are back on Blackboard. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with too much information. I will have more videos coming out with the more specific things about the labs and things that you may not need to worry about for the first week or so. For the first week, just make sure that on the entry point you do the enrollment verification quiz, and that, unlike everything else, is not due Thursday. It's actually due Wednesday the 23rd, since that is our census date. So make sure that you complete that by the census date. The syllabus, make sure you do the syllabus marked it as reviewed. And then other things that are due this week, the Connect problems, which is just entering in numbers. You don't have to know the chemistry yet. The Chapter 1 and 2 Learn Smarts and Homeworks, and then the 2 lab assignments, both of which are just worksheets, so you're fine if you don't have the kit yet. If you have any questions, please send me an email, rldavis@johnstoncc.edu, and I look forward to getting to know you this semester.